Guys, what's Barcelona on this summer? They have been going absolutely crazy from day one, and they have not even stopped for one moment. They have since completed the signing of Anthony Gordon, sent in bids for Juan Pedro and Julian Alvarez, made progress in keeping João Cancelo permanently, and the latest name to join that list of recruits is Karim Adeyemi. But why? With Lamine Yamal, Raphinha, Ferran Torres, Roony Bardghi and Anthony Gordon, Barcelona already have 5 players fighting for 3 spots. If anything, after Robert Lewandowski's departure, you'd expect that they'd be looking to sign an out-and-out centre-forward before anything else, but they are going for another winger. Why is that? What is really going on? Well, we're going to try and make sense of it all in this video today. This is why Barcelona want Karim Adeyemi. First of all, there's simply no mincing words about it. Under Hansi Flick, Barcelona has slowly started to transition from technical forwards to roadrunners. Love it or hate it, it's simply the club's new reality. It's perhaps not something the club would readily do, as they're one organisation that has always put how they play over anything else, but in 2 seasons, Hansi Flick has shown that he is a man you can absolutely bet on, so the club is now giving him all the backing he needs this summer. The gaffer loves attackers who are super fast and can press, and that is simply what's being prioritised this summer. It's one of the main reasons they prefer to spend 80 million euros on Anthony Gordon instead of paying 30 million for Rashford, whose numbers weren't so bad in the just completed season. It's also why they went for João Pedro and why they are still fighting to get Julian Alvarez. Under this coach, it's not enough that you can dribble or pass or even create. You must also be willing to press relentlessly, because without that, the whole system falls apart. Hansi Flick's style involves putting a lot of pressure on the opponents by squeezing up the pitch. But for this to work immediately, and as the saying goes, attack is the first line of defense, so the attackers must lead the press and help retrieve the ball as quickly as possible. Now, Karim Adeyemi is a player who fits perfectly into this philosophy. When compared with wingers that played 700 to 1,500 minutes in the top 5 leagues in the just concluded season, he ranked in the 91st percentile for defensive actions per 90 and in the 94th percentile for pressures per 90. And mind you, by his standards, the 2025-26 season wasn't even a good one for him, and most of that was due to the coach misprofiling him and playing him out of position for most of the season. Adeyemi is a winger who can also play as a centre-forward. His pace, ball carrying, pressing and high work rate are some of his best qualities. A player like this thrives in space. But the Dortmund coach used him primarily as a second striker, which limited him so much. He could not play at his very best and was only involved in 16 goals in 39 appearances. But if you go back to the 2024-25 season, when he played more as a winger, his numbers all round become better. He was directly involved in 23 goals in 41 appearances, but of course, it was more than just the goals and assists. Even his pressing stats were better. Compared to wingers in top 5 European leagues who played 1,200 minutes or more in the 2024-25 season, Karim Adeyemi ranked in the 99th percentile for defensive actions per 90 and pressures per 90. He ranked in the 85th percentile for counter pressures per 90, in the 82nd percentile for pressure regains per 90, and in the 81st percentile for defensive action regains. For those who might be confused about these terms, counter pressure is basically gegenpressing, and it measures how quickly a player is able to regain the ball after his team has lost it. You hear that, and you can immediately see why this is important for a Hansi Flick team. In addition to all of this, Adeyemi is a very versatile player. He can play all across the front line, and if push absolutely comes to shove, as we have seen, he can also be used behind the striker. A player like this will always be very valuable in any team. He will be able to cover for anybody in case of injuries, and he allows the coach a lot of tactical flexibility. When Barcelona signed Gordon, we said that Flick might be looking to build an attack like the one we currently see at PSG, where the players press high and hard, and all 3 of their positions are basically interchangeable. That's looking more and more likely with this Adeyemi signing. With attacking options like Lamine, Gordon, Raphinha, Ferran and Adeyemi, you can certainly achieve that. Now, those who watched the 2024 Champions League final will tell you that Adeyemi's finishing is bad. And while there might be some truth to that, it's hardly a massive problem at big teams, because they create loads and loads of chances every game, especially a club like Barcelona. In La Liga last season, Kylian Mbappe and Ferran Torres were first and second respectively for most big chances missed. Well, guess what? They finished first and third respectively for most non-penalty goals in the league that same season. Sure, a few missed chances will be frustrating for fans, but we still see his overall numbers improving regardless. And hey, don't forget that he's still a young player. He only just turned 24 this year, so there's still so much more about his game that can be worked on and improved. What's important right now is that he has the raw materials. He's rapid, has a high work rate, can strike the heck out of a football, and can beat his opponent. As he matures in a good footballing environment, he'll be able to refine these skills and turn out to be a top player. In fact, that is another big reason why Barcelona have gone for him. They seem to be really focused on assembling a young core so as to build a project, not just for now, but for the future. And Karim Adeyemi fits perfectly into that philosophy. And perhaps Raphinha's injury at the World Cup was a massive wake-up call to the club. It probably told them that they might not be able to rely on the Brazilian in the new season. In the last 1 year, Raphinha has been sidelined due to injury on 5 different occasions. 4 out of those 5 times, it was a problem with his hamstring. For a runner, that's a massive red flag right there. These hamstring injuries have made Raphinha miss 4 months of football in the last 10 months. When your almost 30-year-old pressing machine starts to pull his hamstring every other month, you know the end of the road is near. It might hurt to admit, but that's just the truth. And Barcelona are really wise to be preparing for life after him. They suffered so much when Raphinha tore his hamstring in March, which forced him to miss big Champions League and Copa del Rey knockout ties. They surely do not want a repeat of that in the new season. Heck, we won't even be very surprised if the Brazilian attacker ends up being sold this summer. With Saudi clubs reportedly interested in his services, it might be Barcelona's last chance to really cash in on him, so keep an eye on that. Anyway, the point here is, it just makes so much sense why the Spanish champions have gone for Karim Adeyemi, and you know what makes it make even more sense? The price. He's expected to go for around 30 million euros, which is a figure Borussia Dortmund will be forced to take considering the player only has 1 year left on his contract, and he has already said he won't be signing a new deal with the club. When you put things in context of the price, it's pretty much a flawless deal. A young player with this many great qualities at that price? It is really a no-brainer. Now, one last piece of the puzzle that a lot of people are overlooking here is that Karim Adeyemi and Hansi Flick already have an existing relationship as they have previously worked together. It was Flick who gave Adeyemi his Germany first team debut back in September 2021, and he even took him to the 2022 World Cup. After Flick was sacked, Adeyemi was sidelined from the Germany national team for almost 4 years. He wasn't even included in Nagelsmann's World Cup squad this summer. We say this to show you how much Hansi Flick has always believed in the winger despite all odds. He always saw the best in him even when others didn't. So if there's one man who can turn Karim Adeyemi into a beast, it is surely the current Barcelona head coach. Anyway, we now want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this Karim Adeyemi signing? How well do you think he'll do for Barcelona? Get in the comments and talk to us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.